not exactly sure where you could find a Sesame Street, but over the weekend there was a significant amount of outrage over using Sesame Street to kind of advertise the poke to kids. That's the perspective that a lot of people had. It's difficult to really know who, quote unquote, their target audience is, because I don't know what the minimum age technically is for people to be on Twitter, but it is kind of creepy because, you know, kids aren't making that decision. Like kids aren't making that medical decision. Their parents are. So I'm not exactly sure why we're seeing a whole bunch of tweets like this, causing a significant amount of backlash. Excuse me. Elmo was so happy to talk to Dr. Sanjay Gupta today. Why did I sound like the Count there? At the town hall, Elmo learned that Elmo's friends can get the poke now, and soon Elmo can too. Wow, thanks, Elmo. You see a lot of people saying the establishment is so desperate that they're using Elmo for propaganda. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. Now, my position has always been that, you know, you make that choice for you, and, you know, and it's none of my business. But also with that would probably be maybe not using Elmo to advertise it. It's like they want kids to go to their parents and be like, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to get the jab." No offense, Elmo, but people who are 5 to 11 shouldn't even be on Twitter. This is bizarre. Target audience for Sesame Street is 3 to 5. Is this meant for parents browsing Twitter? Because that's not going to get parents more likely to get it. If anything, it'll have the opposite effect. Out of touch producers from Hollywood. Okay. How about Big Bird? I got the poke today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy. Mrs. Whatever, Erica, even said, I've been getting them since I was a little bird. I had no idea. Of course, many of the replies. This takes government puppet to the next level. You see Melanie Mack getting in there, roasting them. Here's President Biden replying. Good on you, Big Bird. Get the poke. It's the best way to keep your whole neighborhood safe. I'm sure that wasn't written by him. Yay, Big Bird. My little guy got his first one yesterday. He told me it would send a message to his moon system to create Koof fighters. Good job. Okay. It's just a little weird. Prove it. I mean, and then you have Grover. Super Grover may have many special superpowers, but he also knows when to ask a friend for help. Thank you, Dr. Whatever, for teaching us and all about the Koof at Town Hall today. I mean, what? I'm not exactly sure, you know, who this is for. It's obviously very creepy. You know, I think it's odd to see all this stuff. Of course, Republicans get mad about it, which I guess makes sense. But I still question, I'm not sure what the laws are around, you know, advertising this stuff to little ones, but it seems like this would be on the line or over the line. Look, I know that Sesame Street has always been pretty progressive, and I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. I think that I guess I don't know how many young ones even watch Sesame Street anymore these days. I think they all watch Cocomelon or whatever that is, or Baby Shark. I don't know. But you see this article on NPR, Big Bird got poked and is drawing outrage from Republicans. I just think that, like, there's one way to discuss this stuff, and maybe using beloved children's cartoons is a little suspicious. Big Bird ruffles some conservatives' feathers this weekend by announcing that he had been poked. The beloved Muppet tweeted Saturday that he had gotten it, which is newly available for Americans from 5 to 11. By the way, one of the least likely. From what I understand, this group of people is very, 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 very low in terms of likelihood that they would face any kind of real concerns around this. Of course, the argument is that, they could still spread it, but then again, so could people who are already poked. So it's tough to know. But nonetheless, Big Bird has been a fixture of children's television since 1969, but is officially 6. My wing feels a little sore, but I'll give my body extra protection. Twitter users sounded off in the comments, with many thanking the character for doing their part to keep Sesame Street safe and set a positive example for kids. Well, I mean, kids don't have any choice in the matter anyway. So it's a little odd. President Biden and the CDC all applauded it and responded to them. Others are not as appreciative. Senator Ted Cruz, right? Big Bird's coming over to poke your kids. Fox News contributor Lisa Booth accused the Muppets of brainwashing children, while Newsmax host and former Trump advisor Steve Cortez slammed the announcement as evil propaganda. Both made false claims that kids are not at risk. While most children who do get it only have mild symptoms, experts say that it can prevent, really bad cases. Again, so you, by your own admission, yes, kids are at risk at getting it. I mean, my friends' kids, many of them have gotten it, and they have to stay home for a week or two or something from school, and the parents have to take off. None of them experience any real serious symptoms. Not that nobody can, but it's a very small percentage of people. Other commentators denounce Big Bird as a puppet, literally, and communist. Laverne Spicer, congressional candidate in Florida, wrote that Big Bird and Elmo are at least a step up from Dr. Anthony Fauci, but using them to push this is just as reprehensible nonetheless. Some much darker, like Tennessee congressional candidate Robbie Starbuck and alt-right social media personality Mike Cernovich. He's not alt-right, is he? I don't believe that that's true. NPR, of course, is another kind of far left-leaning website, company. So keep that in mind. Many observers noted the irony of the pile-on, given that Big Bird is both a fictional character and one known for spreading messages of kindness and curiosity. They pointed out that this isn't the first time that he's gotten the poke. Yeah, back then, I think it was, 72. Obviously, I wasn't around. Why is his head missing? Oh, okay, it's just really thin. And Big Bird wasn't the only young resident of Sesame Street to get the jab. Their turquoise bilingual Muppet, Rosita, who's apparently also 5, and the two appeared on CNN with Granny Bird 2 over the weekend to share their questions, experiences, and tips. But I don't get it. I mean, I guess if your kid is in a high risk category or something like that, and you're concerned about it and you want to make them feel better, I suppose you could say, hey, Big Bird did it. But I'm not exactly sure a 5-year-old is going to be asking any real questions about this. Maybe, all those woke 8-year-olds on Twitter who sleep with their Ruth Bader Ginsburg dolls, I suppose maybe they have some complex questions about it. I think it's, I think that the issue is, as always, this whole thing has been politicized and creepily so, in my opinion. I stand by the fact that I think there are plenty of people who need to strongly, really consider things, and there are people that probably don't need to consider things the same way. But I'm not a doctor, and I also find it weird, providing blanket statements for people when everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has different allergies and things like that. And I think it's a little touchy when you kind of use these characters to push, a particular agenda, even if that agenda is seen by the greater media as something that's inherently good, it is a little weird. I think Sesame Street, you know, I remember, was it Sesame Street was Mr. McFeely, the mailman, washing each other's feet. There's a lot of good that came from Sesame Street, like, you know, being colorblind and treating people with respect and being kind and understanding that people are different and not like being angry or upset or scared of those things. I think that's a very good message. But this is a little, I get why people would be a little concerned about this, although I don't know how many kids these days even watch Sesame Street. I hope, I guess I'm curious what you think in the comment section down below. Is this over the line? Or is this the Sesame Street trying to do what they think is right and that everyone needs to chill out? To me, it's a little in the icky category, but not out of the line of what I could see Sesame Street doing anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.